Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Danielle Conway. I'm a residency-trained veterinary nutritionist and founder of Verity Pet Nutrition, the recently launched Unbiased Bites community program. I wanted to start with a discussion/introduction and something that is both personal and important for the future of veterinary medicine: the way that we use science. For decades, we've seen a particular style of science communication dominate in this field, one that, especially in today's political climate, is not working well. It relies too heavily on debunking, on calling out pseudoscience, and treating anything new or subtle as inherently suspicious. Some level of skepticism is necessary to be a good scientist and medical practitioner. However, treating everyone like the common enemy, not so effective. Very effective in clickbait and pushing algorithms, not so effective in changing hearts and minds. The intention behind this is often good. The mission is to protect animals. I share this message fully. But here's the issue. If the way we communicate science pushes people away from science, then the science has stopped working. Precision matters, and perspective matters too. Take nutrition. It's tempting to believe that we can spreadsheet our way to perfect health for every dog and cat, what I like to call practicing decimal point nutrition. But even the most detailed databases have limitations. Nutrient values vary. The USDA database is not complete. They will fully admit that. Real patients don't always have to behave like theoretical models. That's not to say that we still shouldn't strive for precision and accuracy and intellectual integrity. However, I do think within the field, we can often get bogged down by linear academic thinking, and instead of focusing on the patient in front of us. My mentor used to say, don't get caught doing the dinkadoo with the numbers to a fault. Don't ignore the patient in front of you. I had another wonderful veterinary mentor who was an internal medicine specialist, and he would say, yes, lab values are important, but when you're a young veterinarian, that's all you want to focus on. And he would gently remind us, or not so gently at times, if we needed a tough love moment, that the patient in front of us mattered as much as the numbers. And there was numbers represented a screenshot in time and didn't represent the patient as a whole. And we need to look at trends and the patient in front of us and not just hyperfixate on a lab value in front of us. The same applies for nutrition and nutritional formulations, is that yes, we should certainly strive for precision and data and accuracy. And if you're curious to hear a little bit about my thoughts on AAFCO and the recent trend of people attacking AAFCO, I have a link in LinkedIn. I have a post in LinkedIn going into that more. I won't spend time on that here. We can aim for accuracy, but we also have to measure what matters, the clinical outcomes. This is true far beyond nutrition. We see pet guardians turning to influencers and online groups, not because they don't care about the truth, not because they don't care about science and facts, but because they aren't feeling heard within the veterinary system. And because it's very easy to fall for logical fallacies and appeal to emotion marketing that is utilized by influencers and even companies themselves. When skepticism becomes identity, our curiosity dies. The same applies to anything within veterinary medicine and nutrition. If we overly identify with any particular style of feeding to the point where it becomes part of our identity, then we are not able to live in a growth mindset in a place of curiosity. And we should be willing to go where the scientific consensus takes us. And if we fully entrench ourselves within any particular viewpoint, whether it's anti-acupuncture or anti-fresh food feeding or pro-raw food feeding as part of our identity, any of those things can be very damaging, and the curiosity dies. A good scientist should be able to say three things when communicating scientific facts and data or clinical recommendations with patients and guardians. Here's what we know. Here's what we don't know yet. And here's what we hope to find out. Present those to the clients, present the pros and cons, and then let them choose and make up their own mind. I think that's the responsible thing to do as a clinician. We're not here to tell our clients what to do. We're here to present their options and the pros and cons behind those options and how they apply to the patient in front of us. Unfortunately, in veterinary medicine, a lot of the research that gets funded is driven by corporate interest. And that's not to say that it shouldn't happen. We need it. The system needs it to happen. And that's true outside of veterinary medicine. Unfortunately, what can happen is that therapies get dismissed. Modalities, styles of feeding are the ones that lack funding to begin with. So it's a circular trap. How are we going to get more funding if we don't have more, let's say, integrated medicine services, more nutritionists in academia, and be able to have those brilliant minds in a space where they can conduct more research to broaden our knowledge base and to move the bricks of knowledge down the road and to help shape the scientific consensus. And it's why integrative modalities like acupuncture, supplements, or fresh food feeding get written off too easily. The absence of perfect data doesn't negate the need for more data. It highlights it. We need more data. Nobody's disagreeing there. Nobody is saying that the scientific process or that the greater scientific consensus shouldn't matter. The answer to imperfect evidence isn't ridicule. The answer is more evidence. And by the way, we build the evidence by staying open, collaborative, and grounded in patient outcomes, in pet outcomes. Science doesn't require cruelty to stay alive. I know this personally. Early in my career, I was publicly attacked by a well-known veterinary skeptic. My interview quotes had been twisted by a company into claims that I didn't approve of. And I was a baby vet at the time. I didn't know to ask for the final writer review before things get published. And I asked for correction and explained that to the skeptical veterinarian, and he didn't care. Generosity of assumptions was not given. An opportunity to discuss with him face-to-face or via phone was not given. And that shaped me. It affected my mental health. It affected my confidence for a while. And now I'm not someone who's afraid to engage with science. I'm someone determined to improve how we talk about it, because I am a growth mindset person. And I think that in order to move science forward and move past this kind of anti-science movement that's happening throughout the country, we need to reframe the tactics. And we should not be focused on taking a hammer to a piece of wood and focusing on it splintering. That should not be the approach. It should be bridge building. Take that hammer and use it to build a bridge, not to cause destruction. Because even every veterinarian I know, we all entered this field with the same reason: to help animals and the people who love them. So here's what I'm building now. My first direct-to-pet guardian service is called Unbiased Bites, and it's a community dedicated to evidence and not ego, transparency, not tribalism, a space to help pet guardians and veterinary professionals stay connected to each other. There's separate spaces for each, and there's a place where they can come together as well. And there's an educational group for each to encourage hard conversations in a respectful way, a place that is safe and monitored so that pet guardians can express their concerns and veterinary professionals can express their concerns with regards to nutrition, supplements, and pet products. Last night, we hosted our very first Meet the Brand session that's occurring every month, where we invite in a different pet food, supplement, or product company into the session and give them a chance to talk about why they started the company and what about the company makes it worth the members' hard-earned money, and why it deserves a space within the pet's wellness protocol or their bowl. And it doesn't necessarily have to. That's up to the pet guardian. I'm not going to tell them what to do. It's up to them to decide. It's up to you to decide. And so I invited in, as the very first Meet the Brand, Dr. Christine Besson of Herbsmith. And it was a thoughtful discussion, grounded and rooted in real clinical experience, practical reality, with a solid scientific basis. And that's exactly the kind of conversation that makes our profession better. The future of veterinary medicine is not a turf war. It's collaboration, it's precision meeting perspective. It's science evolving because we evolve with it. If you're ready to be part of that future, I would love for you to join us, whether you are a veterinary professional or a pet guardian. You'll find the link to Unbiased Bites and the Vet Nutritionist in your pocket for veterinary professionals in the links. Let's build something worth protecting. Thank you for being here, and give your pets a little extra love for me today. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week. Please drop in the comments any topics you would like me to cover here. Also find me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and within the Mighty Network. Happy feeding.